And if you notice in that 35th verse, it says, but Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died. So the question that you should be posing right now is, well, who is Deborah? And I'm so glad you asked. But for me to tell you who Deborah was or who Deborah is, I've got to start with Rebekah, and I've got to start with Jacob. In Genesis, the 24th chapter, the 59th verse, it said, Rebekah was sent away to marry Isaac, Jacob's father, and she was sent away with her nurse, and she was sent away with some servants. So Rebekah willingly left her father's hometown with her nurse and her servant to marry Isaac, Abraham's son. And during Rebekah's pregnancy, it was a hard pregnancy, and so much so that she would go and ask the women that were around her, why am I having so much trouble in this pregnancy? And God revealed to her that not only were you pregnant, but you're having twins. And that the two boys are fighting, even in the womb. And this is Jacob and Esau. And Jacob and Esau, not only are they fighting in the womb, but they're going to be fighting for the rest of their lives. And not only they are going to fight, but the people that love them, the people that they serve, would also fight. But the younger brother, Jacob, would be ruler over the older. And Jacob and Esau could not be more different to each other. Esau was ruddy, he was hairy, he was the hunter, while Jacob was a tent dweller, and he had the smooth and the fair skin. Rebekah, his mother, favored Jacob, while Isaac, the father, favored the other brother, Esau. And when you have multiple children, you got to be real careful as to who your favorite is. And one thing about my mother, whoever she's with is her favorite at the time. Jacob begins to be what they call the trickster. And he tricks Esau, trades for him out of his birthright. Esau had just finished hunting, and Jacob had just finished cooking some stew, and Esau, I'll give you this bowl of stew if you give me your birthright. And Esau foolishly gives his brother his birthright. Because legally, the older was supposed to get the blessing and the inheritance of the father. But Jacob, being the trickster, the supplanter, is trying to steal his brother's blessing. And Isaac is getting old. He's getting up in age. His eyesight is failing him. He's going blind. And he tells Esau, I need you to go hunt for me some meat and bring it back and fix it like I like it, that savory meat. I'm getting ready to die and I'm going to bless you. Rebekah, the mother, hears this and she tells Isaac, tells Jacob to go in there. I need you to go in there and I will make the meat and you can steal your brother's blessing. Look at mama. So mama puts her favorite child in position to be blessed. And Isaac said, you sound like Jacob, but you feel like Esau, because mother had dressed him up in the goat skin and put on some clothes that made him smell like Esau. And as soon as Esau gets back, he's upset now because his father has already blessed his younger brother. And the blessing went something like this. Everything that proceeds out of your mother's womb will serve you. Meaning that he would be the leader of his people while his brother would be the lesser. And he's taken the inheritance of the older when it really didn't belong to him. And Esau is upset with his brother, so much so that he says, when Isaac dies, I'm going to kill my brother. Again, Rebekah, the mother, says, Jacob, I need you to go because your brother's angry with you. He's going to kill you. So even though Jacob has the blessing and now the birthright, he's got to leave his mother and father with virtually nothing. And on the way, Jacob goes to Bethel. And Bethel just means house of God. Somebody say house of God. And he dreams of a stairway that leads all the way to heaven. And that's called Jacob's ladder. On the way, he's going to his uncle Laban's house. And as soon as he gets into Laban's area, he meets a young lady named Rachel. Do I have any Bible scholars in the house? And he, at first sight, he loves Rachel. And he bargains and agrees with his uncle, if I work for you 7 years, let me marry your daughter, Rachel. And the uncle says, okay. After those 7 years, it's not Rachel that he's married, though. It's her older sister, Leah. So the trickster has now been tricked. How many know you're going to reap what you sow? So Laban has put in the older daughter for him to marry. He loves Rachel. I'll marry Leah, but I love Rachel. So the uncle said, well, if you work for me 7 more years, now you can marry Rachel, the one you love. So now he's got 2 wives. And quickly, Leah begins to have 4 sons. She had them 4 sons just like that. But she is the lesser of the 2 wives because he loves Rachel. And Leah is put in the back. Rachel is barren at this time, so she say, look, I'm not producing any children, so why don't you have my handmaid? And the handmaid, Rachel's handmaid, did have 2 sons for Jacob. So now he's up to 6 sons. Leah, not to be outdone, sends her handmaid in there, and Jacob had 2 more sons. Now we're up to 8 sons. Leah, after those 4 babies she births 3 more, 2 sons and 1 more daughter. So now we're up to 11 children, 10 children, 2 more sons and 1 daughter. Rachel, God remembers Rachel, and Joseph is born. So now you have Rachel, the favorite wife, and again, now you have Joseph, the favorite son. Joseph is the favorite. Now Jacob has 11 sons and 1 daughter. Benjamin, the 12th son, is yet to be born yet. And those are your 12 tribes of Israel. After Joseph is born, God tells Jacob, it's now time to go back to your homeland. It's time to go back home. When we leave home, there will come a time when you may need to go back home. It's now been 20 years because I worked for Leah for 7 years. I worked for Rachel 14 years. Now I made a deal with you, Uncle Laban, to work for the livestock for 6 more years. It's now 20 years. And I haven't seen my mama. I haven't seen my daddy. I haven't seen my brother, even though he might be still trying to kill me. They bargained, Uncle Laban and Jacob bargained that I will take the spotted and the brown livestock while you keep the fair-skinned cattle and livestock. Laban is upset because now you're taking most of the things that I own. But Jacob is saying, ever since I've been here, you've been blessed. Now you've got grandchildren. Now we've got more cattle, more livestock. I have blessed you since I've been here. So Jacob has to flee in the middle of the night. And Laban comes after Jacob, saying, at least let me kiss my grandchildren and my daughters goodbye. Why did you leave me like this? But God comes to Laban, and somebody says, somebody prayed for me. God came to Laban and said, don't touch Jacob. Don't say anything good about him. Don't say anything bad about him. So when he reaches them as they're fleeing, he catches up to them. And this is where you hear the closing remarks like, may the Lord watch between me and thee while we absent one from another. Because sometimes we have to agree to disagree. I don't like the way you left me, but I'm not going to hurt you or harm you. So may the Lord bless you. And this is how he leaves Laban. But he's going to see his brother Esau. And Jacob basically came there with nothing, and now he's going with so much livestock that he's able to separate himself into two camps. And he sent some livestock and some servants ahead to meet his brother Esau. And he assembles the camp. He puts the handmaid's children up front. He puts Leah in the middle with her children, and he puts Joseph and Rachel in the back. Fearing like if we attack in the front, I can't have hurt or harm come to my favorites. Jacob runs up on Esau, and Esau greets him with a kiss. After 20 years have passed, I'm no longer angry with my brother. Esau and Jacob exchange pleasantries, and Jacob meets God one more time. And this is the place, it's called Bethel. And they call it the Jacob cycle because when he left, he started at Bethel. And when he comes back home, he still has to go through Bethel. And he wrestles with God. And God touches the inner part of Jacob's thigh. And Jacob, when it's all over, Jacob now has a limp. And his name is changed to, y'all ain't gonna help me, huh? Israel. I knew I had some scholars in the house. His name was no longer Jacob, but Israel. And this is how we get the 12 tribes of Israel. And I know you said, preacher, you took me a long way through the valley, but I'm trying to get you somewhere. I'm trying to get you where I need you to be. What was that 35th verse? It said, but Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel. Somebody say Bethel. Under an oak, and the name of it was called Alan Bakhu, the oak of weeping. How do you define a mother? And most people will tell you a mother, if you gave birth, you are a mother. Is that accurate though? Because a mother is so much more. Giving birth is hard up front, but that's the easy part. What happens with the raising and the being there when ain't nobody else there? Because that's the definition of a mother. Somebody, maybe not even birth you, but somebody who's taking care of you. That's a mother right there. So what are you trying to say? Look who Rebekah, Jacob's mother, was not there, but Deborah was there. Come on, somebody. Deborah was there. And she was buried beneath Bethel. And remember, Rebekah's nurse left with Rebekah when she married Isaac, Jacob's father. So how much old did Deborah have to be? So in the midst of Jacob's ups and downs, there was a woman right there. It wasn't his mother, but it was Deborah, the nurse. He said, I'll be a mother to the motherless. I'll be a father to the fatherless. May not have given birth to you, but some women in here are more mothers than the natural mother is. And when mama has gone away, God said, I will leave you a comforter. There is somebody that you can call play mama, step mama, grandmama, big mama, bear mama. I don't care. The mama is in the house. God will not leave you without a comforter. Mama may not be here, but he has not left you without. How do you define a mother? Deborah, her name means bee. And Canaan is the land of milk and honey. And bees make. Deborah is what you would call a wet nurse. Which means if there was a baby that needed to be breastfed and mama wasn't able to, they were sending her to Deborah, the wet nurse. So she was full of milk and, come on somebody, milk and honey. And she was buried below or near Bethel. We're told nothing about the birth of Deborah. Nothing about if she had children of her own. Nothing about her background or her family. All we know is that she was Rebekah's nurse, and somewhere along the line, we don't know if she left with Jacob when Esau was after him, or did mama send her to him. Mama will send you some help. If mama can't be there, look, she'll send them. Even when mama is gone, mama is still Mama done prayed for you. Mothers will be woke up early in the morning and begin to pray for their children, their grandchildren. Look, mama done more for you before you even woke up. How do you know that the people loved Deborah? Because look what it says. We can infer for what the short amount of information that we're given that when she died, they called the oak of weeping. That means somebody cried. And we're not going to cry for somebody we didn't love. But somebody had to know Deborah, Rebecca's nurse, as a mother. Somebody had to know her as the babysitter, the teacher, the pamper changer, the one who stayed up late at night when I had some boo-boos, the doctor, my counselor. You don't think that when Jacob was going through the issues that he couldn't say, I need somebody to talk to, mama ain't here, can I lean on your shoulder? When mama ain't there, there's another shoulder on this side of the Jordan that you ought to be looking for. When you're feeling down, call on a mama. There is a word for mama, and that word is love. You talk about who Deborah is. They don't even mention her name until she's died. We have mothers all around us that are doing so much that we don't even know they're not doing it, or that they're doing it until they're not doing it. You try to replace her. How can you replace a mother? How can you replace? You need 2 or 3 people just to replace what mama been doing. Children, think about how your mother, your parents are paying the bills. You ain't even thought about that. I just live here. The lights are already on. I'm good. There's food in the refrigerator. We're going on vacation. Mama has made these preparations. And we just take things for granted. Won't even say thank you. And if you talk to them crazy, they'll twist their mouth. Why you bothering me? What you asking me to do something for? I wish they would leave me alone. Not even thinking about that mama has provided for you. That mama has made a way for you. Don't let it be too late to tell mama thank you. Don't let it be too late to tell mama thank you. A word for mama. In a couple years ago, anybody remember that movie Soul Food? There was a song on that album that I used to play all day, every day. A song for mama. And it was a couple reasons I played that song. At the time, I thought I could be the 5th member of the group, Boys to Men. So I was getting my harmony parts right. And I thought so much so that I could be, I'm next, call me in there. But when they sung that song, they loved their mama. I said, I love my mama too. Hey, you know, I could be in there. These boys love their mama, and they singing about it. That's what's up. You were there to love and care for me when the skies were gray. Whenever I was down, you were always there to comfort me. Mama will always be the girl in my life. And I don't know, anything about speaking in tongues, but if I could speak Dutch, I would say moeder. If I could speak Indonesian, I would say Indu. If I could speak Irish, I would say Mafia. If I could speak Croatian, I would say Machka. If I could speak Swedish, I'd say Morsa. If I could speak Polish, I'd say Maka. If I could speak German, I'd say Mutter. If I could speak Japanese, I'd say Okasan. If I could speak Galatian, I'd say Nai. If I could speak Danish, I'd say more. If I could speak Italian or Spanish, I'd say Madre. If I could speak Greek, I could say Mana. If I could speak Hawaiian, I'd say Makawani. If I could speak Russian, I'd say Nat. If I could speak Arabic, I'd say If I couldn't say a word or mama was deaf, I'd sign. you in front of everybody. You want to show out at school? This is where we're going to show out at. And then we'll sit down in the class with you. And they would look and say, is that your mama? I would say, you know that's my mama. A word for mama. If you need a 4-letter word for mama, somebody said it already. Love. Come on, put your hands together this morning. If your mother is here, give your mother a hug. If you're going to see your